Hello YouTubers and welcome to Novus Talks with me, your host Novus Scorpius. And it's time to talk about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Why is that? Well, put it this way, the game was announced at E3 2019. It is now February of 2020 and E3 took place in June. So we have gone a short amount of time in the grander scheme of things, but an amount of time nonetheless, without any information on this game whatsoever. And the reason I feel like there should be more discussion around Breath of the Wild is because, you know, Nintendo, one of the best and worst things to come out of Nintendo with the release of the Nintendo Switch is that they've done something they've never done ever in their entire history of making video games. They've started a lot with announcing games years before their release and then leaving us go empty for a while and then dropping those games out of nowhere. It's great because we know these games are actually coming, we don't have to speculate and get annoyed, but it's bad because we get these announcement trailers but then never hear anything from the games. First one off the top of my head, the first guilty thing to suffer from this was Metroid Prime 4, June E3 2017. Game was announced. Nothing was shown. We heard nothing about the game. We got like little bits of information here and there, but no update at all from Nintendo until January of 2019. Reggie said a few things here and there, but nothing major. Right after Metroid was Pokemon Sword and Shield. Didn't have a title then. That was right after Metroid. Didn't hear about that until I think E3 the following year or something. If even, I think it might have been like closer to 2019 actually when we finally got info on that. It was like November 2018 or something. And then Bayonetta 3 in December of 2017 at the Game Awards. Still haven't heard absolutely nothing on that game. Pretty sure that game's in development hell. Of course there was Smash and then that got revealed 4 months later, but I'm not really including that. And the latest big thing on the list is of course Breath of the Wild, announced in June, and we've heard nothing about it since. Now already some of you might be getting annoyed or frustrated at me because this is just standard video game development. Of course there's not a lot they can say about these games at the time they announce them. And I get that, that's not the issue. And the issue isn't even around announcing them, it's that in the case of Metroid, they could have given an announcement. In the case of Bayonetta, they should have given an announcement. Those are two big games apart from Zelda. Smash came out in got an announcement like a couple of months later, so that's not really a thing. Pokemon, yeah, I don't know if they were teasing things in between, but they should have been. They should be saying that, okay, if we don't have information right now, we'll have something for you in the near future. And that's led me on to Breath of the Wild. I'm patient, I'm not expecting everything about this game to come out straight away, but I do expect a bit more transparency because it's starting to get really frustrating getting these games, and the three big games now we know absolutely nothing about release dates. They all seem like they're coming within a year or two of their release, but then something happens and who knows what's going on. So in the lack of any real information about Breath of the Wild for the time being, Nintendo haven't even made any comment as far as I know about the game going well or anything. So it's very quiet. But that's led me to the rumors that have come out recently. There's been a lot of rumors about Breath of the Wild too since it's been announced. I was always a big believer that when I saw it at E3 2019 that it would come in 2020. Well, actually at the time I was I was scared when I saw the trailer because I was like, okay, this won't come for like another 10 years, but good to know it's there. But as time went on, knowing that this game's been in development since 2017 I want to say, not even with the DLC, they went straight into this development right after the first game. So you're talking about like April, May of 2017. So that's like 3 years this game's been in development. Even if it's 2018, it's still been in development for like 2 years. So 2 to 3 years it's been in development. So you'd think there'd be something to say about it, but no. I thought it was 2020, but as time goes on, and after Nintendo released their like official, like, I don't know what you'd call it, timeline of games that they have planned for this year and for the start of next year, no Zelda on that, no Bayonetta, and obviously no Metroid because that's probably further on, but no Breath of the Wild. And so that's made me thinking it's 2021. And that's led me to these rumors. I've discovered these rumors. This guy, Savvy, has become quite notorious in the Nintendo community recently. I only heard about him over the last few weeks when the whole rumors about Paper Mario and Metroid Dread and Super Metroid remake were going about. This guy was claiming that there was a new Paper Mario game coming, a new 2D Metroid, that was Metroid 5, and that a potential Super Metroid remake was coming. And supposedly this guy goes all the way back, even like to last year, the year before, and he's kind of 50-50. He says information, sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not, but he has been in legal trouble with Nintendo once regarding E3 of, I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before. So that's interesting. That to me suggests he does have some credible information. I should say he or she, but whatever. And that's what's led me onto this. He's claiming now The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 is about to get a trailer shown soon, another trailer, and that we're going to see what the title of the game is. And according to the rumor, the title of the game is The Legend of Zelda Bond of the Triforce. Not a bad name, I guess, but you know, it seems, I mean, I like the title, but I don't know if I would believe that that's something Nintendo would go for. Maybe it is, I don't know. This is the second title rumor we've heard. The last one was Breath of the Darkness, which came out like only a year or two after or a month or two I should say, after the announcement of the game. Really cringy title, never believed it, but the point still stands. He's claiming now that Breath of the Wild 2, or Bond of the Triforce you want to call it, was supposed to come this year or something like that, but has been delayed and has had some setbacks and is actually coming out next year. And it's changing their plans Nintendo had around E3. And so Nintendo, in his words, he mentioned something about tires, which connects to Mario Kart. So I don't know what to make. This guy has been claiming a lot lately, you know, as I said already, Paper Mario and Metroid, and now Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart. What's really going on here? He doesn't actually specifically mention Mario Kart, but the word tires is thrown in like inverted commas, leading us to assume that Nintendo are going to try and make up for the delay of this. This was supposed to be a holiday 2020 release. They're going to make up for that with Mario Kart. Now, it's been 6 years since the last Mario Kart game, not including the release of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and that horrible mobile game, Mario Kart Tour, which came out last year, I believe. And that's supposed Nintendo are gearing up to drop that. Now, all the rumors before this have been around that, oh, Nintendo will release Mario Kart 9 and Breath of the Wild 2 with a new Switch, a Switch Pro, whatever, all these stupid rumors that I'm kind of sick of hearing at this point. And again, just like last year and the year before, Nintendo have come out and said they're not making another Switch model. So yeah, I don't believe they are. But I believe Mario Kart 9, if they're even going to make one. I mean, I'm thinking of the Nintendo Kart idea here, that Nintendo might release that instead. But if we're assuming they're making Mario Kart 9, they probably are, then that's going to be on not the Switch Pro, but the next console to succeed the Nintendo Switch, the new console that will come from Nintendo in 2 to 3 years. And what about Breath of the Wild? It's a Nintendo Switch release, so I doubt that's going to get pushed forward unless it suffers the luck of Breath of the Wild 1 and Metroid Prime 4, which it could, but you know, they're using a lot of the same assets, so I can't see. But anyways, all of that rambling aside, the rumor talked about what we could expect from the gameplay and stuff as well, and I've heard some stuff coming up on this a few times now. Supposedly, Zelda will be playable. Big shock that the rumor mentions that, because, you know, every rumor around this game mentions that. I never bought into it, you know, just because Zelda has her haircut, it doesn't necessarily mean she's playable. Sure, it probably means some sort of symbolism of her character, but it doesn't mean she's playable at all. She could be, but I'm just not believing that this means she's playable, if you get what I mean. And supposedly, though, this rumor is claiming, Sabi is claiming that Zelda will be playable only in dungeons, and that there'll be something about a magic gouge and she's like power over nature or something. That Link will be the only playable character in the overworld. And I had heard stuff about rumors recently about that they were changing like the climbing mechanics of the game to be more focused on timing, and there was something else, something about the landscape would have to do with a lot of bits of the land floating in the sky, and that Hyrule would be covered in massive craters and stuff, which seems the most plausible thing to ever come up with this game. Yeah, but the point of bringing all this up anyway is that the rumors are going in full mill, and I don't know what. It should be taken with a grain of salt what Savvy is saying, because he seems to have something going from if Nintendo were legally after him. But at the same time, you know, a lot of this stuff seems like too much of confidential information for it to just slip out like that. So, I don't know, maybe he actually does know something. Who's really know? But yeah, what do I think of the mechanic of Zelda's playable? It makes the gameplay diverse, sure, but I don't know what you could possibly add to the gameplay of the game. I really don't see what you will be able to do that would make the game more interesting, because you already have everything you need with Link. What could Zelda add other than potential magic or whatever? Who knows? They could probably pull something incredibly unique to her character in terms of what she can do gameplay wise. But yeah, that's really it. That's to say about the Zelda being playable. Now, what about rumors about dungeons and stuff? Obviously, going back to 2019, what we saw in the Breath of the Wild trailer, we can see that this is potentially, well, we know it's going to take place in Hyrule, but there's potential for it to be beyond Hyrule, or for it to explore one of the ancient civilizations mentioned in Breath of the Wild, the Zonai tribe, because their glyphs and writing is all over that trailer on the walls and that dungeon, and apparently the green spiral that's holding Ganondorf in place. So Breath of the Wild is going to go more that ancient, or Bond of the Triforce, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. Now that I think about it, after just mentioning that, Bond of the Triforce makes sense, because I'm thinking of the bond of the seal, the hand that's holding Ganon down and like connecting to the Triforce or whatever. But I don't really see how the Triforce is going to play a big part in this game, because it's Nintendo was showing it off as if Zelda had the entire Triforce by herself in the first game when she obliterated Calamity Ganon. So I don't know how they're going to incorporate that into the story. They might pull something completely new, who knows, honestly. But yeah, that's really all that I have to add in terms of the rumor mill for Breath of the Wild 2 at the moment. Supposedly it's a 2021 release. I'm not sure if Sabi mentioned it was a holiday 2021 or mid to early 2021, but who knows. But yeah, what do I personally think? I'm expecting Breath of the Wild 2. I mean, I was thinking 2020, but now as it stands, I think I want to say March 2021, just because that would be 3 years on from Breath of the Wild 1, and that could make sense, and that is a good amount of time between now and then, and that could launch the next year for the Switch. But if Breath of the Wild is not a 2020 release, then that certainly leaves the well dry in terms of titles we can expect for the Switch, because there really is no big titles for the Switch this year. I mean, yeah, there's Animal Crossing that's coming out next month, so that's going to be pretty big, but Nintendo will want something else to back off the later part of the year. I don't know, like Bayonetta seems to be, I presumed it was this year, but it doesn't seem to be coming this year. Metroid certainly is not coming this year. Mario Kart is hardly coming this year. And there really is no other franchise that we know of that Nintendo has a big release planned for. So, who can really say it? It doesn't seem like 2020 will be as bad as 2018 was, but it definitely seems to be running dry. Nintendo are certainly kind of scraping the barrel in terms of first-party releases to have lined up for the Switch. But I don't know, that's just me being, I guess, nervous. There's rumor of a Direct this month, so Nintendo may announce something there, but I believe that'll be entirely Animal Crossing focused. Even though it's been like, I think nearly an exact year since our last real Nintendo Direct. But, I don't know, maybe I'm all wrong. Anyways, I'm sort of rambling on here now. I just wanted to bring up Breath of the Wild back into discussion because it's kind of slipped away into rumors, and so I wanted to bring up the information we actually know and allegedly what Sabi is claiming is the case. And I can guarantee you this probably will not be the last time Sabi gets mentioned in one of my videos. I don't know if I mentioned him in the Metroid ones, but if he has something going for him, then it's definitely going to be worth paying attention to what he has to say. Especially Nintendo are after him in a legal way, so something's definitely going on there. But yeah, I'm going to leave it at that and wrap this up. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. When do you think Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out? What do you think the title will be? Do you like Bond of the Triforce? Do you think that's the title? What do you think of what Sabi's claiming? Do you think he's legit? And what do you think about Mario Kart and any other potential releases Nintendo might have for this year? Let me know down in the comment section below. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and please subscribe. Nova Scorpius out.